Gurinder, Aaron, it's a pleasure to meet both of y'all.
Nice to meet you.
So I got to see this film back in April when y'all screened it in Los Angeles.
Right.
And it still has had an impact on me to this day. I really enjoyed it. And one of the reasons is it has such a universal message to it with kids going through high school, trying to fit in, trying to get out of your hometown, and then also trying to chase your dreams, sometimes without what your parents' vision of your future is.
Yes.
Did y'all have any personal experiences with that attracted you to this project?
I was personally lucky enough to, my family were very supportive, which is quite rare in Indian families. But I saw a lot of my cousins and stuff like that couldn't follow their dreams, because I think one thing is, like, your parents have a specific vision for you a lot of the time, and some people are, some parents are more lenient and let you get on with what you want to do, but then others aren't. But at the same time, I think they're always doing it out of the goodness of their heart and from their own experience,
Well, once my parents got over the shock that I wasn't going to be a doctor, like every Indian parent wants, they were very happy with me becoming a journalist. That's what I was initially. And my story is the story of Bend It Like Beckham. So I had to negotiate it, but in the end, my dad was like, go and do what you want. And my mum was, do what you want, as long as you learn how to cook Indian food.
Gotcha.
Then I don't mind.
This film is also very nostalgic for me because when you're a teenager, music is puts such an impression on you.
Yeah.
And for me, the band was Incubus. When I first heard the band Incubus, I really dove into the music scene. Who was that artist for you growing up?
Well, obviously Bruce Springsteen was very important to me. I started listening to him when I was at school, and he's remained with me all these years as like a faithful friend. And I can turn to any of his albums at any time, and I feel like I'm, listening to a buddy who's telling me good stories. But also in England, for me, the music scene that really kind of talked to me was the whole two-tone music scene with the Specials and Selector and the Beat, or the English Beat as it was called here. That was a great time because it was young people who were from all different cultural and racial backgrounds coming together and creating this new music.
Do you remember the first time y'all heard Bruce's music?
Yes. Well, the real moment for me was when I went to see him live in 1983 in Wembley Arena, and I liked him, but I hadn't been to a big rock concert like that before. And what I remember is standing on my seat, tramps like us, born to run. It was like one of those. I was hoarse at the end of it, just singing along. And what a show. And the charisma of the man. And that's what's so nice about him is like his stories are stories of struggle, but also of hope, and the way he tells they're so heartfelt, the way he sings, and he goes from small acoustic numbers to big rock numbers, and the camaraderie he has with the E Street Band, it's like a family, and it just draws you in.
How did you get Bruce involved in the project?
So Safraz and I were very good friends, and Safraz said to me, I'm going to write a memoir of growing up in Luton and Bruce. And of course we bonded because we were big Bruce fans. And when I saw his memoir, he gave it to me before he'd finished it. Bend It Like Beckham had been a big hit, and in his heart he was hoping that I might see something in it. And sure enough, I read it and I said, I know how to turn this into a great film. However, we can't do anything without Bruce's approval. And then Bruce was coming to London for the premiere of his movie, The Promise, and we were lucky enough, I was invited, I took Safraz, we were on the red carpet, and then a miracle happened. Bruce saw Safraz, he recognized him because he's seen like 150 times, and he walked over and he said, man, I read your book, it's so beautiful. And Safraz had a meltdown. I was like, this is it, I got to do the movie deal right now. And I turned around to Bruce, and I just said, hi, I'm Gurinder Chadha, I'm in Bend It Like Beckham. Oh, I'm so excited to see you. We want to make a movie of the film. Will you support us? Will you help us? And Bruce kind of looked at us both and went, sounds good, talk to Jon. And that was Jon Landau. We kept in touch with his management, and that's how the movie happened. He gave us all his songs. He trusted us. And after, I knew I had to make a movie for Bruce Springsteen. He was the only person I was concerned about. Not you, not him, not anyone, just Bruce. And when I finished the cut, I went to New York to show him my cut. He didn't ask for it. I wanted to show it to him. And we sat in the theatre. And at the end of the theatre, there was absolute silence. And I was like, okay, I might have got this a bit wrong. And I went down, I turned the lights on, and then he got up and he walked over to me and he gave me a huge kiss here. And then he put his arms around me and he said, wow, thank you for looking after me so beautifully. I love it. Don't change a thing. And I was like, oh.
That's incredible. I enjoyed the film. Thank you for making it. And y'all have a great day. I appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.